I'm Yasmin Vasugian, and this is BOOMGEntv's Daily Update number 16. Question: how is the media anticipating the October 1st talks between Iran and the world powers? The Western media is definitely painting October as the deadline for Iran to deliver and the U.S. to act. Fox News quotes Senator John McCain as saying he's not optimistic about Thursday's talks, but that sanctions, while worth trying, should not be the only tool available. He says he has serious doubts that Russia and China will cooperate, and said the United States in the long term needs to do more to advocate for regime change by encouraging dissenting elements inside the country. CBS News quotes Secretary Clinton as saying Iran has to present convincing evidence as to the purpose of their nuclear program. We don't believe that they can present convincing evidence that it's only for peaceful purposes, but we're going to put them to the test on October 1st. She goes on to say the only acceptable response from Tehran to ward off additional sanctions would be for Iran to open up its nuclear system to extensive investigation. Words are not enough, she said. They're going to have to come and demonstrate clearly to the international community what they're up to. The BBC quotes Mr. Salehi, the head of Iran's atomic energy body, as saying there will be no bargaining about Iran's rights to nuclear technology, and said Tehran had no plans to abandon its nuclear activities even for a second. We're not going to discuss anything related to our nuclear rights, but we can discuss about disarmament, we can discuss about non-proliferation, and about general issues. Now, the frenzy that we're seeing in the Western media, we're not necessarily seeing in the Iranian news. Fars News quotes an anonymous source saying President Obama's promise to give $5 billion worth of airplanes and parts to Iran is an incentive to bring them to the negotiating table. Reportedly, the money is actually coming from Iranian frozen assets inside the United States. Now, the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan was quoted at a press conference in New York as coming out against a military attack on Iran and pointing out the fact that all powers that are accusing Iran of building nuclear weapons are themselves the largest holders of nuclear weapons. Finally, Fars News quotes Iran's nuclear enrichment site proves two things. One, that Iran's nuclear program has matured beyond a point of return. And it goes on to quote an Israeli paper saying that the announcement of the second site brought the possibility of an Israeli attack on Iran to zero, proving that Iran's nuclear program is a deterrent against Israeli threats. I'll see you tomorrow.